And this weekend, his trolling of free agency just continues to be mastered by this man. For the first time in 20 years, he's become a free agent, and he is living it up to the fullest. UFC fights in Vegas, chatting with Mark Davis, lighting the world on fire. Rumors about him going to a school in Nashville to test it out for his kids. Everywhere he goes, there's quite a controversy. Tom Brady this weekend went to a Syracuse basketball game with Julian Edelman and Jimmy Fallon, and the internet was stopped once again. Do we have the video?
Yep.
Star power in the building as well. It's a big deal anytime the Orange and the Tar Heels get together in a...
Tom Brady was seen mouthing after Julian Edelman with a fresh beard. By the way, completely different person with a shaved face versus the bearded Julian Edelman. Handsome man, but the beard is such an impressive one. I would keep that thing full time, but I understand if you want to see your face every once in a while. Julian Edelman, by the way, massive come up for Julian.
Oh my God.
He's got like a Gordon Hayward type come up whenever from Kent State to now. Handsome man, obviously good friends with Tom Brady at the Syracuse basketball game, sitting directly next to him. They go to the camera shot. Julian Edelman puts a friend of his in a terrible spot by saying, he's coming back, and then looks at him like, maybe we get an answer. And Tom Brady either says, he's not this guy, or he's lying. All of it could have been said by Tom Brady. And yet again, spur of the moment, out of nowhere, Tom Brady is playing this entire free agency thing perfectly, like a maestro orchestrating the entire conversation about his free agency. I think he might have said he's not.
He's not. Said he's not.
He either said he's not or this guy. If you have in your mind he said this guy, he potentially says this guy.
Do you think he was talking about the waiter or maybe Jimmy Fallon?
No, I don't think so, Zito. I like your optimism there. He could have potentially been talking about the waiter or the server that was down there in the seats that he was sitting in.
He's not coming back.
He could have been talking about Jim. He's coming back. He's coming back.
He's not coming back.
Potentially. But boy, Tom Brady looked disgusted with Julian Edelman for saying that. Julian Edelman then launched a T-shirt sale, Tom for 2020 campaign. A Tomocracy is what he called New England. I mean, I absolutely love Julian Edelman trying to profit off his friend here stirring the pot, and I love that Tom Brady handled this thing perfectly. As a New England fan, seeing Julian Edelman and Tom Brady not only have that moment, but also FaceTiming old friend of theirs, Mike Vrabel, who is the Tennessee Titans head coach, who would be a perfect landing spot for Tom Brady. The more and more we think about it, the more and more I think about it, that A.J. Brown guy is all of a sudden quite a good and popular person to have on your team, because Tom knows that he has a weapon. They have a great offensive line. You pay King Henry. Their defense is dominant. You got Mike Vrabel, who's a very, very good friend of yours. You're FaceTiming him while at a game. This seems like it's potentially a perfect fit for old Tom Brady. As a New England Patriots fan for your entire life, Connor Campbell, it has had to have sat in that this thing is over for the Tom Brady era in New England. Well, hello there. Utilize the promo code Pay the Bills and get $20 off your first order from SeatGeek. Now, back to the magic.
It's almost as if they're making a mockery of New England fans at this point. You're talking about a guy who said something that we can't even figure out what he said. That's how well he's playing free agency.
It's not even a scripted moment. That was a moment that came completely candid in Tom Brady. I want to think that Tom Brady came in prepared with things that he could say that lip readers couldn't even figure out. If I say this guy, that kind of sounds like he's not. That kind of looks the same way. He has played this thing perfectly, and that's why he's the GOAT, not only on the field, but off the field. I love everything he's doing.
I'm starting to legitimately feel bad for New England fans. Like, legitimately. I don't know, though.
No,
I mean, he is completely dragging them through the mud, and it's over.
I don't think it's his fault, by the way.
What? You don't think it's his fault for starring in that commercial?
I'm not going anywhere, he says. I'm not going anywhere, saying I'm going to still play football. I don't think him going to Nashville to potentially visit his friend Vrabel and everybody saying, he's coming here. I don't think him going to a UFC fight that everybody wanted to be at, by the way. Conor McGregor was fighting. Everybody, he goes there, he talks to Mark Davis. Hey, Mark Davis comes out to, was he supposed to be a rude guy? Bang, the whole thing happens. Maybe Tom Brady hates how big this has become. That's why he looked at Julian Edelman and goes, come on. Like, not now. But all he's done is just stir the pot even more. His answer on Instagram when they're saying who's he playing for next year, he gives a look. I love it. And if he does leave, This will be received worse than the decision was received in Cleveland. And I cannot wait for that.